fresco fell into a flake accent to erect an obelisk of opulence below abscess. The watchmaker with the boudoir waits to be repaid. The many facets of tears observed in isolation. A masterpiece was finished among the manacle. The monstrous insect kissing at the courtyard. Cylinders and rollers melt into a cascade. Walking arm in arm on occasions rewarded. Artificial limb bestows a favor to the tableau. Remote from the gateway that the delirium hold. Heralded the dusk as the carriage was called for. A foreign worship by a pretty voice. Vast output of a court clerk, shutters closed. Cannot afford pleasures measured in mortal errors. An iconic sign, caressing vexation. I solace myself with knees propped up, convinced to take up the chisel, dazzled by the roofing. The tall wax tapers, rounded twigs and curled leaves. Corrupt style, long suspected yet door. A dome rising luckless during wartime bombing. Erotic fables, heads dragged off of daisy. Nearly separate shrines, cast in zinc. Pedophagic dowry panting, babbling book abridged. Purified faith I could never quite forget. Stockings poorly modeled, open to parody. Gazing into dinginess to trumpet a speech. Stretching his neck to see Venetian hospital. Throwing a broad beam from a bronze door casting. I sat blinking at the vat, sinking vast reaching upheaval. Trees and cottages that enchant me. Whispered together personal faults. Such trifles in a program notes worthiness. Locks and keys in a final draft. Honoring the gallant, mossy mutiny. Wings drooping with communal hymns, rough cast. Struggling out of marble, born of worship. Complaining of forgetfulness, hearing a certain chord. Swarming towards bright light, laughing at your warning. Devoted admirers of the least master. Forcefully depicted orbital friction dared to remind me. Highly digestible, low-cost mass house. Badly drawn scapula, a lordship liaison. Ambitious canvases, recorded thoughts of the savage. Only from plaster cast I would ask of your symmetry. A delicate arrangement of illicit love. Details of aging, caging or framing. Silk for trimming, walling materials crested iron work. Smooth and glossy luminosity of the vocal score. Gravestone photograph, oddly decent outrage. Sapphire cameo, art the cause of pride. Skull emblems, orchestral courtesy of media. Purple spark was the staple needle by dread. The willow flooded, during copulation. The merciful wrinkling, humanus incarnate. Spent the night alone in the grave in the sackcloth. Cannon fire calming me. Bombards and ramparts padlocked in the captain's quarters. And mock trawler galley and constellations and bots and sages. I spent the night alone in the grave in the sackcloth. Cannon fire calming me. Bombards and ramparts padlocked in the captain's quarters. And mock trawler galley and constellations and bots and sages before I prowled again. Shut in the fossil residence, shrapnel flakes, I elude analysis. Hiding behind chapel drapes, trapezoidal vault compartment. The walls of marksmen gathering churches sunken into dark marshes. Dominant colors on playing cards and lampshades. A railway crossing, nurturing presence. I can't betray an unbroken line. The truth to fear an umbrage, external face of the budgets. Congealing cutlets, bending elbows back to make you quiver platelets. Sharply contrasting and cruel incarnations. Four parrots and storage drums, a consistent grain. A rich gusto of persistent blame. The containment of space cracks the web and takes its time with surveying scrapbooks, a sacred likeness. Loving provider, rose like a great whale. Virgin portal figures pointing to a womb. Rooftop between adoration and a ball waiting. In various locations, a sensuous pulsating. Cylindrical supports in material realms. Gables adorned with crockets and ethereal shell. A rough sketch hung to fulfill itself. A soul prison's war against the weight. In overlapping form too afraid to explain. The movement of naked bodies at chest level. Combinations of ordinary ceilings and abdominal operations. A noble mason appeared pacing around the back of the choir to greet and beg you. Around the back of the choir to greet and beg you. Solar repel hues from a veil view. fed quark, candy monkeys on slows, a clawed throat, fragrant ball of dung. In a clenched fist, a wedding band damage, allowing beetles to enter me. Bewitching yellow stripes, bellowing pipes. The faithful scent gland, a grateful friend's hand. Ardent metallic antenna, bending into grace again. Index cord tenderness, serpents into place of legs. Journalist pen without damage. Depths revealed, charcoal mustache, a common head concealed. Skull diggingly from a tree without reference to a source. An entryway seldom found in homes. A rosary swinging, perfect eternals. Flesh produced, shout the flags of an notorious pest. On the hillside with aerial nets, pierce my arms as I run around in ashes. Face down on the table, surrounded by armies. Many worlds slightly narrow that might harm me. A song of party soft body, left in residue. Spiky rays branching eternally. Blemished plumes and aloof gaze, legless worm like bouquet. A crate of grapes often mistaken, botched arrangement. Scuttled away in leaflet, a part of a shroud. Fingers dipped in wine while sipping brine. Off-key singing, retracted into hollows. The exile wandering from the writings contain. The exile wandering that the writings contain. A carnal contact fit into a groove. Jackal-headed viscera involved. A lifelike standing pose of an automaton. Parasols and umbrella, a bundled truss roughly. Horse anatomy twisted in agony. Trust me, soul core of a train carriage phantom lies in the stiffness of wood savings and dry grass. The gondolier and a harpist with an eye patch fell out of fashion with fresh incisions reminded as marrow evaporates, telling hearts to keep quiet. A girl pauses with a dulcitina. Blotches of white paint, desiccated stimuli, a favorite distinction of a preserved wasp. Perpetual love affair stretched lengthwise at a cross. A bucket hung suspended, a sickle for light weeping. Rugged pavement, perfect spheres, a scarab amulet sitting mechanically. Shrunk over linen wards, uneven cubes suspended by a fibrous sycamore. The glue-covered paper, loaves of coarse bread, with easels set up and islands pulled down, force-fed. Rivers of silver foil and green feldspar. The restless intensity of rites and customs adopted, preserved in the basilica names of robbers conserved. An emblem of suffering, written in black hieratic, grotto of full stone. A bright colored bead collar, the profile rotated with a heavy wig fitted. Picturesque painted pupils, still obscured before the engulfment. Folded into a crouch, a polite distance from the curious statue. Found upon the doorstep of cerebral function, peacock curtains and bioplugs, bioflux. Cast into the waters as a potential health hazard. For the sake of warmth, born from urine self-lathered. With face jewels and the toxic metabolites. The dread of illusions and gases and vapors teaches the ruthless grip of the surface mucus leakage. I followed her upstairs with asbestos bodies to somehow transcend from this restless heart that gets urged me to ask for a handful of proteins. I reach for the spectators with oxygen unloading. A voice came from the lips with halos of obstruction. The clanking recede with tremors and cramps. I fell into a stupor on the surface of the crystals, inanimate but intimate, with the narrow lumen laid upon the bosom of voluptuous doctrine. A powerful magnet of palpitating acquaintance. It rolls of parchment, aromatic propagation. The winding clockworks wishing to conclude, so faintly murmured as ovulation occurred. It advantage of the cabinet, captured by biopsy, a near close to a mouth, the urge for yoke. Chess players and sea urchins, a rap fetus so lively a tribute, implanted with the pledge, blatant fraudulence with each fraction of an inch. A private bus pilfered in the malcontent outcry, a private bus pilfered in the malcontent outcry. After long neglect, I staged a frontal assault, hanging on a mimosa tree to retrieve a sword. Subsequent episodes of a bloodless face, the head half severed with chalk-covered arms. A jealous lover, disheveled and ugly, the owl flesh scapegoating. Web and trapping, studying dance with private teachers. A single stroke, missed the apparition mingled into animal language. An extended life, surviving as a thief. The unclothed finalist overdue for a visit to dictate the terms of a normally fatal trauma. Solicitation and classifieds face down and bloated. Folklore of feigned sleep, pyramidal palace. Exalted status quickly recut, adulation shower. A jade goblet, a slow label gate. Staged a mock wedding that was frowned upon. Singing as I pray to myself, I thought you'd never leave me. Log falling off of a door, another tablet reading moth flying out of a bag. The long curtains dancing spilled in the grave and I'm sad. The guard smirking at me, broke with the mentor. The mirror-hungry manuscript, rural landscape extended into moonbeams. Self-proclaimed and photographs developed. Pulled out a single strand, chose as her betrothed. Continued killing in winter, yet to be consummated. Swooning wind bit with repressed awareness. The show was conducted without disturbing the topsoil. Annual vigil for the grieving process. She died as a result of the childbirth. Beloved and eccentric lawyer being driven through the stomach. Began to make a series of films depicting nails growing. Conditions works into the love story subplot. A bone center and mail order clientele, unable to isolate the vampiric alien. Literary cathedral visited local sites that bear little resemblance to a stranger who kept watch. A private asylum, deep within the site. Motion pictures suggestive of a sexual contact could enter any dwelling during panic-stricken outbreaks. Hidden meetings of a Eucharistic wafer, considered unclean as dawn approached among the growing legion of these predatory hungers. A hole in the neck, a thorny branch, a liver removed. During the opening scene, it emerged as an outcome. Handkerchief between the navel and the knee. Elongated fingers running across the copy to protect the birthing site with antisocial actions. Trembling embrace with beads placed in the mouth. Young birds chirping. A night at the ballet turned into a desert full of longing. I concocted a serum that quickly dissolved, compiled at length an account of unsolvable problems. Singing as I pray to myself, I thought you'd never leave me. Log falling off of a door, another tablet reading moth flying out of a bag. The long curtains dancing spilled in the grave and I'm sad. The guard smirking at me, a towering podium with the tighten hold. Immediate impulse to kill the one you love. I traced a thread that led to a graveyard, found barely alive in the field recordings. The opera ended with an unsavory label. A violinist soon to be hung. The parody continued and spread through defilement. Elaborate cosmetics with a humorous caption. Nearly unkillable, out of step. Came crafted resting place sought from one's elders. Resting place sought from one's elders. requested a handful of gold rings, quietly replying to necropolis guards. Declared as a folly, I married the late king. A fit of coughing, a calculated insult on the arm of a suitor, concealing an impotence. The awkward treatment made suitable amends. The mad pursuit no longer ignored, the choral interlocking as the result of a blow. Primitive motion in pieces of artwork, a mock sermon, a sudden withdrawal, a spasm of torment, slumped on the throne. A pistol cast aside as my father died. Shortly thereafter, a parallel merge, the priceless birthright and a rival cult. The curtain rises in anonymous heaps, a garden scene interrupted, frolicking at full speed. Locked in the tomb, I pray for you, lost in my thoughts at this coffin made for you. Lost in my thoughts at this coffin made for you. A driving serenade of the usual film, dramatic simplicity of attempted blackmail. A concentrated version of a skin complaint closes the act as the prisoner's hobbled. Climactic moment in the workman's hut, a pride wounded to avoid further beating. Material bondage inside a coat pocket, rendezvous arranged at cliff formations, imprisoned on the terrace so glaringly obvious. Marionettes and talismans charged with fluid. A handsome newcomer, beautifully bandaged, a bird catches and riders standing nearby. The accented phrase in a sealed tomb, slumbering in the place of safety. The tender motif, solemnly guarded, the master sobbing the following morning. Locked in the tomb, I pray for you, lost in my thoughts at this coffin made for you. Locked in the tomb, I pray for you, lost in my thoughts at this coffin made for you. The opening chords of an iceberg, sentimental brilliance, newly discovered. A need for counsel had surrounded me, with opera goers and outgoing ships. The tireless efforts of disfigured graffiti, bitterly noted affectionate family scene, giant enigma slipped off the shelf and hung dangling. Engaging in the rival pulverized, joyously greeted by the suppleness of a box edge, with bracelets and pectorals, constructive ends roughly cut into rocks, with offstage voices and precious empty vessels, ringing fanfare prescribed for the bruising. A faithful servant had suffered the worst fate. Theatrical artifice recently plucked into soft phrases in the corner of a mud brick.
調査依頼書。依頼事項は失踪人の行方動向。
A humble true form relics obligated to live alone with perspiration carbonated. A holy disc camping for my soul admiring. How would that goes cleaving towards those that rise fire? A noble claw, so deadly modest, cladded chicks to jacket, all is well. Blossoming blushes, wishing a desert dwelling. Encircled like a little ghost boy, a letter telling of releasing sacred words to keep from falling. Creased and locked in the chest, the breath of salvation. Garbage cluttered, mortified in a corner. Shuddering petals pretending to be a candy breach. Prism subway dancing surrounding sapphire reason. Dark center dimension, conscious ships seldom dock. Matted roots of debris, transient crowding. A glacier in the distant fuses near the path. Mud cake poison, the milk of lime. Plunging warm air fell upon a clumsy disguise without gloves. The upstream quote, a millipede. Haley goes again with no cage. A kind of close friend said hi. Fangs look nice, never just a lonely farewell to earth beings. Tangled in a thorn, hedge maze. I thought your hour was nap time. Or mending heart chunks, it'll pass. Pantomime gargoyle, what is that? You heal alone, smiling with the miracle. While ceiling flies bloom with bill from guzzle rap. And every 100 variants wishes yields a letter. As an inspector with the digits and ugliness. Deadly peaks among each fireside nerving and surface steep. On a flat gutter plunge. It's simple as a toe can together like a book. Tempted as a juggler's throat to hold and bite. Unbound and surrounded while the ruffians lie bleeding. Now we're blotting out with the casket maker. Autumn clouds are shaped decapitated. Imagine where they get a place you can't feel but you can see it. Girl, kid, alchemy transmuted. Unscathed in mosaic skull cap. A nameless cornstalk, path of light. Cleansing morning star, round form. Grandeur the sorrow, flung back. Electric eel anchor controls. In a cavern cleanse, holy day. Snowflake fractured door. A downpour of flame crept up. Pink mountain tamponade purified. Witch hazel universe gave thanks. Buffalo calf grazing rapid drum. Buffalo calf grazing rapid drum. Buffalo calf grazing rapid drum.
商事販売拡張課長。当人は依頼人の夫であり、
A benign incident was forced onto earth, rejected by a woman through a window with the coffin. Unresolved guilt that resulted from receiving a transfusion as portraits came to life without conscious awareness on the last leg of the lecture door. Several prior encounters that lived incognito, simply by bathing in an emerging myth. Cinematic expression bolstering up. The ground salted with controversy arose. Atmospheric members of this household left the victim fatigued and spilled by an altar, claiming direct descendant with endless speculation overlooking the bed. In the mountain pass, in the end pleaded guilty far into the evening. I briefly became a prince, dwelling in a bathhouse, a social context so greatly alarming. Foul event occurring, stirring a slop bucket. Rocking back and forth, forceful from the phlegm coffin. Mind hoax, mirror house, bastard with crowbars. Periscope voyeurism, coiling in the carpet shop.
Discover suicide, I choose to die without cement.
Frost in the spring, cut from later releases, melancholy get projected. A number of volumes, a needle and tubing, digested the feast. When I was wounded while examining slides under public scrutiny, a purity returned, prominently displayed, walking down the cliff face, regurgitated but still alive at the screenplay. There she lay lounging, having her hair combed. Beacons lay bubbling until some of it spurted. My feelings documented in the initial inquiry. Caught in the confines, pins under fingernails. As a harmless one, I donned a costume. Oxygen carrying pigments engaged to the count. Protruded over lower lips as an instrument of revenge. Future complications of a family estate. The body be buried after being killed by a lightning bolt. Foul event occurring, stirring a slop bucket. Rocking back and forth, forceful from the phlegm coffin. Mind hoax, mirror house, bastard with crowbars. Periscope voyeurism, coiling in the carpet shop.
Discover suicide, I choose to die without cement.
6ヶ月前に失踪したのに連絡を絶ちました。
Confess those who seek the
調査
kingdom
に
through
関する
season.
一切を信任し、必要な資料の提供を惜しみません。報告に関する秘密は厳守し、他に漏洩したり、利用したりしないことを誓います。昭和43年2月2日、依頼人氏名、根室春。日の出更新所、 人事調査部長殿。
You were traipsed through a sewer grate, greeted by broadside, face washed by grape shot in a strong tide. Now a mask for the cabaret oligarchy, plucky bloody heartstrings of my lungs once they caught me. Discussed like the bellows, the war was a sham. Exhibit to the public, my lively conversation. Permit me a fleeting glance, visible before the ball, wanted to above the weakness after the carnage. I like to dress the part, I'm making a rule to the useless unesthetic. Pictures on matchboxes, external worry, rope expert knotted up, an extraordinary mixture. Pleasing and attractive, they getting a pickpocket already arrived with pamphlets. Could only hear the footfalls, it felt like I belonged. An evening of watering with finery wasted, a plain piece of plumbing, capturing a likeness. Found my playful side, writing little stories, most satisfying conclusion to the thrilling escape before me. Hidden bottles and piano, giving cause to regret within floral design. A rare form of jabbering, like a film director's dreadful shattering, a very enriching and acute observation. Books made of cloth street beneath the opera square, holes boarded, healing ornaments hemmed in the physician's bag. I wanted to thank you for coming to fetch me with imagination stoked by ironic things. You burdensome thing, so confined and restrained in locks and wrists, rogues and highwaymen and tricorns, muscles at the shoulder, instituted open brushwork. Unearth a stark interior of prison for involvement. Drapery that reveals the form underneath it. Tonight's performance will include every page that must explode. Myopic numeral inscribed in the glass panel, banished from the mind, any tormented gearing. The wounds of makeup, all opposites meet. A rapid succession of apparently pure chance dispatch the bodies to the Vatican in 3 suitcases. Pictures nailed together to lap up your scandal. A complete surrender to the romantic silence to exhibit as a relic. Useless like everything distributed at night in the corner of a wood. A bride above, sealed up inside itself, a new descending a staircase. The temple slid. Obsessive interest in an illustrated catalog, investment of intellectual capital. Static mice, fields of photo montage, definitively incomplete. From the ceiling hangs an effigy, hope of the rich. Devoted to insults, 391 Picabia, saving the result in pictorial convention. Impossible to justify this literary medium. Seated on a dais with the doctors, I nodded. Mouse flattened into a sneer. As time halted, if you look closely, you'll see the cracked eyelids tolerated and even welcome abuses muzzled. They had been at work identifying the cause. A tightly regulated committee, forced to read, employed to a point of exaggeration. Android masturbation, studied and monitored. Clear rules that everyone knows. Looking at components, interviewed in detail. Winning over vassals, the victim was profane. Singled itself out for the blow of the axe. Rivers flood for days, my heart wells with widows. Building a house by the roadside, regarding strong dogs weeping in the wilderness. Soldiers turned their eye towards an embroidered curtain. My body wrapped in horsehide, seek sanctuary where you can. The birds are dead, take care of the small things, not burdened by judgments. It was most kind of you to empty my palm, the tiny square looking glass beyond reckoning. Cross lenses, a smashed billiard ball, swelling and moving, tense out, framing armor to turn. Indulge in a daydream of godlike discharge. Handheld follow shots the etiquette demands. Erratic tones that secure financial backings to implicate the spying, never mind the formalities. Spread like contagions, no use for the niceties. Wisteria vines amassing on the ridge. Freeze frames, close-ups, I hereafter submit. I nod off in front of guests, swallowing light the frames. None the worse for wear, 7 bonds and blighted veins. You were watching that, weren't you? In constant upheaval. Yours was the arrow that fell to disturb. A tattered straw hat of enduring ridicule. Unnerving close-up and mutual slaughter. Switch pans at the base of the handrail. Useless hauling of a hyperinflated dog's howl. Dreamlike nightscape of the lab staff. Authority void, or an empty gourd. Inky tracking shot of the spark coil. The diffusing blood superimposed on a terrestrial scale would seem practically suffocating in voltage.
ミルク入れます？
マッチないかな。
今持ってたじゃないの。
ケチケチすんなよ。
Literally translates to someone who pulls in, to pull in from the world.
Commissioned through a portrait in the strange paradise, plucked from the cliff heights, so that I may roam free like a stranger to me. Arched under a spasm, it was a welcome warmth to seek help from beyond. Mind-dying love cries of wanting a steel string under compression, not the first to be in chronic suspension. Chose to join her in death, draped in all black and weeping. Try to easy suffering, harboring a charming fugitive. Dead orchard, then wave to sever the bar, ratchet the function. Always soft, crush opera, quantum hacking, nameless. Crowds touch the string chords beneath the triforium. Vaulting shafts, sowing space, the high gothic, it expands. The glowing color, the wax museum strength of the hotel stalker. Clawing out of snow, the virgin sculpture wrapped in swirling draperies. And mangled skeletal traces concealed by drooping folds. The black lodge, gas mask irons, hands tied nightly. What liberty's called. Shared inside of a neighborhood man squelching, pelting a pheasant likeness. Botanist on an expedition became deranged. Ice picking the head of a statue, brought it back to life, painting in green shades. False fantasy, physical trap left to drag the wicked. Shields with barrier symbols and radioactive walls looking after you with thoughts. Papyrus balance wired to the false needle backgammon board there with the gift of an instant. I want to exit calmly. I stare at the distance instead of returning. A web with star-like outline and an animal footprint. Silken mats across the surface of submerged stones. Aquatic moss grazing on algae. An ochre-faced spider spending the day hanging from a platform. 20 flat old domes, aching conical bags and over winter cases. Needle fragments arranged in question marks and commas. Whites and sulfurs, admirals and viceroys and various muted shades. The worm's coil form visible through our skin. The worm's coil form visible through our skin.